Second meeting of the Norton Conservation Commission. First hearing is a request for determination of applicability for file DET 1085, Fairland Farms LLC, 210 Bay Road. Proposed project involves plans to install a septic system within 100 feet of wetlands/cranberry bog.
All right, I will read the legal notice for wetlands hearing, Fairland Farms LLC, 210 Bay Road, rear C bog, map 6, parcel 11, in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40 as amended, the Norton Conservation Commission will hold a request for determination of applicability hearing for Fairland Farms LLC, care of Fred Bottomley, for 210 Bay Road, rear C bog, Norton, Mass. The proposed project involves plans to install a septic system within 100 foot of wetlands. There is an ad to the cost of $105.80.
He just gave us the check.
All right.
Yep. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, Fred Bottomley, Fairland Farms. Came before you last October with a RDA to install the electrical lines to the barn. That was all completed. This is the next phase to facilitate compliance, primarily with GAP. They're now looking for hot and cold running water, not just at harvest time to have the porta-johns. I submitted a couple of months back to Jennifer for a review, and Jennifer recommended certain changes to the plan. Ran it by Chris with Board of Health after, and made it compliant so that we meet the satisfactory distance from the well, we meet the satisfactory distance from the water line that goes to the barn, and also satisfactory distances from the electrical conduit, which you folks approved last October. It's that simple. We had good rates, 2 and 3 minute, as you can see. The system be about yay high over the hill. This is our traffic flow, so it will also be H20 wheel loaded in the ground so that we can drive trucks over it. It's that simple, and respectfully, I'd like your permission to complete that project.
Okay, did you get any comments from the Board of Health about the size of the system? It's a barn, it's not a house, correct?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
barn.
Did they have any comments on that?
No, Mark Whalen, our engineer, Whalen Engineering from North
Okay.
Attleboro, Mark did the perks when they were done with Chris, and they had conversations as to the adequacy of size, et cetera. I know when I talked with Secretary, Chris was on vacation either 2 weeks ago, and they were ready to sign, with the exception just waiting for your signature on the permit. Someone was complaining about the product from the bogs, if you'd like to.
No, thanks.
Lose a few pounds over there.
Sauna.
Fred, who did the perk test?
Chris did it with Whalen Engineering. I have all the paperwork if you want to see it.
I'm gonna make a note for the record that the plans are signed and stamped by Luis for Oliveira.
Yes, he's the PE for Whalen Engineering.
Yeah. The perks were done by, and so who was the soil evaluator?
I was Mark Whalen, WT Whalen Engineering.
You're a soil evaluator?
Correct.
And registered here with the Board of Health too.
Should have my name on
Do you have your license number on here?
it.
Your license number on here? Got it.
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
you have anything else?
I didn't have any other questions. If there are any changes from the Board of Health, then the plan would come back to us.
Did you have any questions, Dan?
No questions.
Jean? Dan? Lisa?
Yeah, I have two.
Okay.
Can you provide a detail for the silt sock?
It's whatever your rates are.
Well, I mean, who's constructing it, they need to know what they're installing. That's the only reason I want on the plan.
Yeah. I had my license here in Norton, I gave it up. Kenny Furtado is registered with Board of Health, and he installs systems in town. They'll be the one doing the installation.
So we'll probably just put a note on it, for a nominal size, 8-inch minimum. And then where did you say the access was from, Fred?
The access for what is?
Well, to access the system, so you have the bottom of slope over here, so how's the equipment getting in there?
Well, right now, the roadway is where you folks walked.
Right, the plan's kind of chopped off, that's why I can't,
Yeah.
it's not in context of the whole site, that's why I'm asking.
Okay,
That's better.
when you folks did your inspections, 2 months ago or whenever it was, we walked down this path with, as you can see, Beta Road is roughly 1,800 feet away. We walked down this roadway, we walked down this side of the pond, and we walked back on the barn side. Can everybody see that okay? I'm sorry. That's fine. So this is the exact location of the barn, which is,
So as we face the barn, the system is on which side?
it's on the left rear side, George.
Okay.
Okay, so your compost filter stock won't preclude access? They'll have
No, not at all.
to come in
No.
between? Okay.
And once it's done, I'll notify Jennifer, if she wants to come out and inspect. At that point, we'll remove the sock.
Yeah, well, just since that plan was brought up at the public hearing, I just need a copy of it for the record. Doesn't have to be right now.
Oh, I think you have it.
Yeah,
Is that a spare?
thank you, it's yours.
It is now.
Ron, did you have any questions?
No.
Julian?
Okay.
No further.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
Jeff Bowden, 130 Bay Road. I got the notice that it was, within 100 feet of wetland, so, my only concern is I'm in the very far side of the bog, so I'm not close to this site at all, but year after year, I see the bogs overflowing and flooding. Is there consideration into that, into these plans, because it's within 100 feet? I just want to make sure we're not getting into anywhere that's going to affect the downstream.
Correct. Yes, we flood minimally twice a year. We do a winter flood, we do a late spring flood for pest management control. It is a flow-through system, as the commission knows. There's also a bypass canal. It's designed to accommodate the septic, and yes, it's within 100 feet of the wetlands, more than 50 feet, which allows the applicant to submit this RDA.
I think the question for clarification is the proposed septic system in a flood zone?
Yes,
It's within a flood zone,
the whole cranberry bog is within a flood zone.
but the septic system is as well.
The septic system is being built up.
Okay, so what's the flood zone elevation?
There is none. The map, floodplain map is not determined. It's
At the
based
bottom
on
here.
no elevation given. So where it's an operational agricultural bog, it's assumed it's inside the bog.
We have the elevation from a previous project.
My biggest concern is I've just seen the bogs overflow on all the way to my property, which I'm 100 feet away from the bog, so I'm just worried about that overflow. The last couple of years, the bogs have gone over the banks with the rain and the weather, so I want to make sure that there's, consideration for that. I don't know what happens on that side, I don't see it, I only see what happens in my backyard.
Right, as you know, groundwater flows
Yeah,
the opposite of your way
Yeah.
anyways. The groundwater flows to the river, but the system is designed to be built in compliance with state, and in this case, federal law, which falls under the USDA regs as well.
And like I said,
And I don't know if I've answered your question.
yeah, I mean,
Thinking
my
about
only
it, and I
concern
apologize.
is, you know, I've seen for year after year that, you know, I know, I understand the bogs get flooded, great, it's great to
Yeah.
see, it's a wonderful view. It goes over the banks every year, all the way
Yeah.
up to my property, and it's standing water for like a week, so I wanna make sure that if anything happens upstream of me, we're not getting that septic system downstream to us, you know?
If I could comment. We have to keep in mind the bigger picture. Norton has a very high percentage of wetlands as its total land area. I have heard a figure of about 53%, although I don't know if that's rigorously correct. So as a result, many septic systems, and I don't have the percentage of what the total number, but many septic systems are within 100 foot of wetlands within this town.
Okay.
And this is something that the commission deals with all the time, but these systems do function. And I think you have to realize that this is the entire town.
It's not in the water table either, it's raised up above.
Well, and this is raised up, and in areas of town where it is an equal problem, those systems are raised systems as well.
What causes the raised systems from a percolation point of view, it's all sand. So we had a greater than 2-minute rate. So the base of that system has to be 5 feet above the water level that was determined when Chris verified the percolation, Chris being the health agent of town. So that's why it's raised also. We had to have that 5 foot of separation.
Is there any other questions, comments? So
Mr. Chairman, if there are no further questions, as this is a request for determination of applicability, and from my perspective, we have adequate information to consider closing the public hearing. And I'm so moved.
Second?
Julian makes a motion to close the public hearing for file DET 1085, seconded by Ron. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Mr.
Thank you very
Chairman,
much.
Thanks, guys.
being back in our regular meeting, I move that the determination be negative in that it's a negative section 3.
Hold on one second. It might actually be a 2 now that he's saying it's in the floodplain. Let's check that. It's a -2.
Two, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll revise my motion to be a -2, and that is defined as?
It just says it's in a resource area subject to protection, but that it won't remove, fill, dredge, or alter it.
Okay.
Second.
Julian makes a motion to issue a -2 determination of applicability for file DET 1085, seconded by Lisa. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, next hearing is a notice of intent for file 250-1042, 8 Agawitsa Lane, continued from the July 8th meeting. Proposed project involves the upgrade of an existing subsurface disposal system within 100 feet of the wetland area.
Hello,
Hi.
Dave Orlando, Studio Engineering. This property is located right at the cul-de-sac of Agaritsa. The entire lot is in the floodplain, which is the notice of intent. We prepared a repair plan for the septic system, which is between the 50 and 100 foot buffer zones of the wetlands. It's kind of a different lot in that they have 2 septic systems. The one in the backyard passed inspection, the one in the front yard failed inspection. The backyard served an addition that was put on some years ago. So that, no work is proposed back there, all the work is in the front yard for the original three-bedroom house, or two-bedroom house. It's a pump system, but the existing grades are such that there won't be any increase from what's there now. The pipe coming out of the house is very low, and it's not possible to raise it up. That's why we have the pump. So open up for any questions?
So you gave us the revised page 3 with the alteration of bordering lands.
Yep.
Subject to flooding, so that we have. Can you just explain any special requirements from the Board of Health? Is there a barrier or anything like that? Does it require it?
No, we
Okay.
do not have an impermeable barrier.
Okay.
And
Okay. And we originally talked about an elevation certificate might be required, but it sounds like in the as-built plan, you can give us enough spot grades on the system to show that the floodplain hasn't changed.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, as I say, it's pretty much, I do show some of the existing grades on there, spot grades, and then I put some proposed just to show we have a 2% minimum slope across it, but,
Okay,
you know, it's inches.
that's fine. As long as you do that, then we won't need to require the elevation certificate.
Okay.
Do we need posts as buffer zone markers?
It's probably appropriate.
The edge of lawn is not indicated on the plan, but is the edge of lawn the edge of wetlands?
The edge of work.
The edge of wetlands is, no, the edge of lawn is not the edge of wetlands. Close to it, though. All of our work will be in the existing lawn area, though.
Yeah.
The limit of work is all with the line shed. I think that Jen, you asked about an impermeable liner. I think, actually, that along the driveway side, we may have, Dylan picked that up and had it in his
Okay.
thing, so it's confusing because you can see the rock wall along the driveway side, so at first glance, it doesn't seem like we need anything, but because the pavement is, you know, technically a few inches lower, there may be a little strip from like the pump chamber around the D-box to the outside.
What kind of wall is that? What's the height of the wall? I mean, my point is, you may not need that siltation.
It's like a foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you ringed the whole work area, so I don't know how they're gonna get in and get the siltation control around the whole thing, so.
Yeah, you know, it's always, it's interesting you bring that up because I never know what to do on it. It's like, all right, we have to protect it, and usually the installer doing this one he's a pretty conscientious guy, and they'll leave a joint at, you know, near the road and probably open it up and back in the truck and pull it back in. Access on this one is actually very convenient, right? Right at the edge of the cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac, yeah, definitely. Dan, did you have any other questions?
No other questions, no.
Jean? Dan? Lisa, anything else? Ron? Julian? Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Okay, I need a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the hearing for file number 250-1042 be closed.
Second?
Julian makes a motion to close the public hearing for file 250-1042, seconded by Ron. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
And you
This
have
is
a draft
three.
order.
Should we save that
Oh.
later, or?
We can? Yep.
Okay, we'll do it later. Okay, so do we have a number yet for this next one? 1044, thank you. Okay, our next hearing is a notice of intent for file 250-1044, 20 Margaret Drive. Proposed project includes construction of an addition to a single-family home within 100 feet of a wetland area.
We'll start with the legal notice for Alan and Lori Silvestri, 20 Margaret Drive, map 27, parcel 137-104, in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetland Protection Act, Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, as amended. The Norton Conservation Commission will hold a notice of intent hearing for Alan and Lori Silvestri of 20 Margaret Drive, Norton, Mass. The proposed project includes the construction of an addition to a single-family home within 100 foot of the wetland area.
Craig Sikanowski of Rim Engineering. I'm not sure if the owners were the, Alan Silvestri is here, the owner of the property. So this is a single-family home. The resource area is the riverfront of the Wading River. Part of the estates of Norton, built in the 1990s. The house was built in '92. Mr. Silvestri has been the owner since then. We have an existing house. It's also in the ACEC of the 3 Mile River. The existing house is driveway with a deck/wooden patio along the back of the house that we're planning to remove and replace with a 2-car garage. Some work is in the, minor work is in the 100-foot right area. The majority of it is in the 100 to 200-foot area, except for the mitigation, which showing trees and shrubs to be planted. So if you look on the crosshatch highlighted green, that's our mitigation areas. The dark green, they have a nice landscaped area all along the front and the back of the house. They have the existing lawn. And then what I've colored in as red will be our proposed impervious areas. So the 2-car garage and gray is the existing pavement or pavers. So some of where the garage is going is already pavement and pavers. And some of where the garage is going at this time is a wooden patio. We call it a patio because it's at ground level. So you come out of the house and step down to it. So we are removing some impervious and replacing it with impervious. The reason for the driveway access along the side of the garage is they have their septic system in the back here. And at this time, the pump truck has trouble with the driveway as it is reaching the tank to pump it. So we're trying to provide an access route for the truck to back into and then run the pump hose to the septic tank.
So you're saying that the ground is too soft for the truck to back in there right now?
Well, they're trying to get it so that, I mean, right now it probably isn't, but they weren't planning on having it drive on the line.
I guess another question is, if it's landscaping, is it really mitigation?
Well, we're removing lawn and replacing it with shrubs and trees. At a 2-to-1 ratio to what we're proposing to increase the impervious. And also because of the town of Norton stormwater bylaw, we're putting the roof water from the garage through a Caltech water recharge system to the back of the house, the existing lawn area.
And so the mitigation area will just be planted, it won't be mulched, correct?
Correct.
If I could, this some issues with what you're proposing, so, in terms of meeting the regulations. So, under the riverfront regulations, you're allowed to alter up to 10%, correct?
Correct.
Correct, okay. So right now, how much of the site is degraded? Let's talk total riverfront. So your total riverfront, 18,544 square feet. Of that, how much is degraded? Are we over 10% already?
Yes.
Okay. So why are we proposing something in excess of that? So the regulations say that you can only have 10% degraded riverfront out of the total riverfront on the lot. Yet you're proposing in excess of that. I'm just wondering how you're interpreting the regs that,
Well, I'm relying on the company that we hired, Brad Holmes, ECR, Environmental Consulting and Restoration. They told me that we could, by providing the 2-to-1 ratio of the mitigation, that we were handling that issue.
mitigation is only required for, mitigation has to improve the site. So for mitigation to a degraded riverfront area, you would plant it. Right now, all you're doing is converting something that's non-degraded, right? Non-degraded is, it has topsoil. And you're saying we're gonna plant it. That's a wash. It's already non-degraded. So that's not mitigation. Mitigation is taking a paved area and converting it to a non-paved area. It's not converting a non-degraded use. I think Mr. Holmes needs to go back and look at the regulations. Doesn't meet the reg.
Okay.
You can't exceed 10%. It's bottom line. I mean, I see an excessive amount of pavement, so perhaps you want to get creative for access in the back and maybe do some impervious pavers. Your first line there shouldn't be to add pavement.
You mean pervious papers?
Impervious, did I say impervious?
Yeah.
I'm impervious. Yeah. So, there are issues with this in it that it doesn't meet regulations.
And with regard to pervious pavers, they can provide a good surface for equipment and can look like lawn from a distance. So,
I mean, it's still considered degraded, but at least it's a compromise. You shouldn't just be paving it at this point.
So was Brad not available for the meeting?
but it wouldn't take much to convert some of the suggested paved to pervious pavers to meet this problem. Is that your sense, Lisa?
Well, he's supposed to be working within that 10% threshold. So they're already exceeding it. So technically, they're not supposed to add 1 square foot of degraded or impervious surface.
But it could be added as pervious pavers and meet the requirement of the
But
paved
I think-
surface.
Well, I think the garage alone is probably gonna put it over.
And under the regs, how do you address that?
Well, that's really not allowed. That's why Mr. Holmes is gonna have to go through the regulations under riverfront area alteration and walk us through his thinking. That's really what it comes down to. And mitigation, turning lawn into trees is not considered mitigation for riverfront impacts. You'd have to go find, you'd have to be wetland mitigation or an area that's currently paved that you want to restore to a natural state.
So potentially, if some of the paved were converted to pervious pavers, that could do it?
Well, the first thing he has to look at does the garage itself, minus whatever pavement he does want to take up, just the garage, is that gonna put him over the 10? So he looks at the garage and then what he's going to convert from pavement to lawn area, if any, and see if it's a wash. Then you start tweaking your surface types. But it has to be at 10%.
We can make it work with what, get it to equal what we're removing and adding. So we're already over 10%. We're not allowed to remain over 10% if we're doing new construction.
That's right. It should, the 10%, you shouldn't have exceeded the 10% already. I don't know how that was approved. When was the lot recorded?
1992. Well, the lot was recorded in probably 1980 something.
Okay, he also needs to look at that part of the regulation. Is there a provisions for recording date that revolve around 1996?
Okay. Request to continue.
Sure. To the next meeting then?
2 weeks.
Chairman,
I think it's 3 weeks.
Yeah, hold on a second.
8/12.
Thank you. 8/12.
Do you want to go through any of this other information that you might have to look at, or do you want to talk to Brad directly?
I think we might as well try to meet with Brad before
Okay.
the
That's a
next
big
meeting,
sticking
and then
point.
ask him to attend the meeting.
Okay. So Dan,
I'll move that we continue 250-1044 to the August 12th meeting.
Second.
okay, Dan Pearson makes a motion to continue the public hearing for file 250-1044 to the August 12th meeting, seconded by Lisa. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you.
Just a quick reminder, when the people come to the next meeting, all the
Get 'em trained
information
well.
must be submitted.
Get 'em trained well. Okay. Our next hearing is a notice of intent for file 250-1043, 122 East Hodges Street, continued from the July 8th meeting. Proposed project includes the construction of an addition to a single-family home within 100 feet of the wetland area. Thank you. Oops, sorry.
One issue that we were waiting on, and we submitted information to Natural Heritage, but they have not responded to our request to determine if we are subject to filing with them, so at this time I can't answer that question either. It's just to illustrate what we're trying to do, a little bit better than the
Thanks.
last time we were here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The objective is to put on a two-car garage with a little bit of expanded pavements, a breezeway connecting to the existing house with a bump out of the existing kitchen. So this area that's directly behind the house at this time is completely paved, and we're planning, what I've highlighted as yellow would be pavement that's to be removed and replaced with lawn. Some of the pavement will be left in place because they do still use the large barn that's in the rear of the lot, still gets used as storage, so they would like to keep that part of the driveway, as well as a small area to the side of the garage that would be an extra parking space. The mitigation area is the same as last time, we'll be planting trees and shrubs there. In this case, the impervious, I'm sorry, the 10%, 2384. As like 10% of the entire riverfront area is 24,548 square feet. The existing degraded 23,842 square feet.
So you're allowed the delta, right? You're allowed 24,548 minus 23,842, which is? Is that your 62?
No, that's the breakdown of inner and outer repairing.
Just has to be below the 10%, right?
It doesn't add up the way on the table.
So you're already at, you already at 10% degradation?
It's
below
not.
that.
No, it's below.
Goes below.
And we're also removing 2,041 square feet of grass. So pavement
706.
is converting into grass.
Okay, so what's the separate mitigation area for that? In the green, in the dark green?
Well, when we originally presented the project, I wasn't aware that the owners would like to remove this pavement.
Okay.
So that was the area that's existing lawn at this time. The wetlands is directly behind it. For whatever reason, the trees go in and somebody had planted lawn and they have a small bench in there.
So you're
We're
restoring.
going to restoring that to its natural state, removing the lawn, planting conservation seed mix and some conservation native plants.
Okay, so that should technically be a restoration area, not mitigation, because you don't really need the mitigation space, right? Because you're removing the pavement. So. Jennifer, have you looked at that mitigation area?
I did.
It just looks like somebody pushed wanted a larger lawn or.
If it's a bizarre little spot, it's not like filled wetland or anything. It's just a little grass strip with a tree or a shrub right in the middle of it, and then some at the edge.
Okay.
Do you have anything else? Or?
I don't think so. I mean, it's the same.
We have to wait for National Heritage though, right?
The same as the previous hearings, where we should probably just take another look at the riverfront analysis, make sure it's correct, make sure the numbers run correctly, and wait for National Heritage.
So do we want to wait till August 12th?
Continue it.
Next meeting? Okay. Julian?
Let's see, our next meeting's the 12th.
Yep.
I move we continue this hearing for 250-1043 to August 12th.
Second.
Julian makes a motion to continue the public hearing for file 250-1043 to the August 12th meeting, seconded by Dan Pearson. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I wrote on your hand, but
That's okay.
at least it's not indelible.
Thanks. Oh, did you take my agenda?
I think this might be.
Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so next bunch are continued, right?
Correct.
All right.
Everybody.
The next hearing is a notice of intent for file 250-1037, continued from the June 24th meeting, and they have requested a continuance to 8/12?
8/26.
8/26, thank you.
8:26, I so move.
Julie makes a motion to continue the public hearing for file 250-1037 to the August 26th meeting, seconded by Lisa. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Our next hearing is a notice of intent for file 250-1040, continued from the July 8th meeting, and they have requested a continuance as well to the 26th, or
12.
12th, thank you.
I'll move for continuance
Check.
to the 12th.
Second.
Dan Pearson makes a motion to continue the public hearing for file 250-1040 to the August 12th meeting, seconded by Julian. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Next hearing is an abbreviated notice of resource area delineation for file 250-1030, and they have requested a continuance to,
8/26.
thank you.
I so move.
Second.
Julian makes a motion to continue the public hearing for file 250-1030 to the August 26th meeting, seconded by Dan Pearson. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. The next hearing is a notice of intent for file 250-1032, and they request a continuance to the August 26th meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Dan Pearson makes a motion to continue the public hearing for file 250-1032 to the August 26th meeting, seconded by Julian. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, I lost my place now. That was 1032, right?
Condyne is till,
Condyne is
Requested continuance to 8/12.
8/12, thank you.
I so move.
Second.
Okay, Julian makes a motion to continue the public hearing for file 250-1035 to the August 12th meeting, seconded by Dan Pearson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Lisa abstains, and the motion passes.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, what was the date on that?
August 12th.
Thank you.
Okay, what else we got?
Minutes.
Minutes. July 8th.
They had a lot of corrections on the electronic version, yes?
So
Okay,
3 weeks.
you got the track changes version?
It was just a lot of red and blue and black, and I didn't see anything that I objected to.
So,
I mean, there were corrections there.
any additional comments? So can we accept them?
Who made what is the origin of those corrections?
Melissa creates, she writes the draft minutes, I make the edits. They're usually cleaned up and then sent to you, so you just got the track changes version.
Okay.
It was
Oh, yeah.
colorful.
It was called not.
I didn't realize I gave you the
as
track
colorful
changes.
as
Do we accept them?
Fine to me.
It was evident
All right.
that the changes had been corrected, that there were corrections.
Okay.
That's okay, so,
So do we want to accept them?
yes, Dan's gonna make the motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we accept the draft minutes of July 8th, 2019.
I second that.
Dan Pearson makes a motion to accept the draft minutes from the July 8th, 2019 meeting as amended, seconded by Julian. All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
And Dan Doyle abstains. Okay.
Okay, under new business, you just have two notifications. So Kingsbury Hill requested to be on the agenda, that's scheduled for 8:12.
Okay.
That's it, there's no discussion until 8:12. And Next Sun, the applicants did appeal the Bay Road approval for file number 2501036. And you got a copy of that.
So it's kind of odd that we approve and yet they appeal. Is it
They
Yep.
didn't like the conditions.
okay.
That's happened before.
Sounds like my daughter.
Yeah, we were too restrictive with the conditions and they wanted to,
I think we were not strict.
well, in their eyes we were. In their eyes we were, right, because the other side is also
I
saying that
think
we
it was appropriate.
were
but-
not restrictive enough, yes.
Yeah, so,
Okay. So what happens
that's
now?
it,
We wait?
just so you know, I think the appeal is late, and so I'll have
Oh,
to
yeah, you
speak
said that.
with DEP and make sure it's within the time frame. But it's a 10-day appeal period, starting the day after we issue it. So the appeal period should have ended on the 12th. And they seem to think it ended on the 15th, so that's 3 days late. So we'll have to ask DEP about that.
So they have to accept the appeal period first, then once that happens, then they'll schedule the inspection and do the whole appeal process after that.
That may be the way it goes.
If it goes forward,
but
right? Okay.
They shouldn't accept the appeal at all, so
If they're outside the boundaries, yeah.
they were
Agreed.
outside the time frame.
Okay, thank you.
But that's it. So for violations, Pine Needle Drive, I did the inspection with the owner, and there's no violation there, so they've been released. The others, I don't have an update on those.
We have some fellow citizens here from our fair town. Have we answered? Did you have
Yes.
any other concerns?
From the Kingsbury
Yes.
Hill, just wanted to make sure that there wasn't any information being shared without a representative city.
Next meeting. Oh,
Notification.
yep.
Oh, we do have one question. You had said the information has to be in 1 week at a time, we were told 2 weeks.
2 weeks for larger projects.
You consider ours a larger project, Jennifer, or smaller?
That is a large project where we've suggested a number of times that the packet reflect the EOEA policy. So we just have to go back to the
Oh, the order.
aggregates, order of conditions,
Yes.
and that's the end of the agenda.
Do you have an extra copy? I don't think the pack. I'm
I
sorry, I
have-
printed it
I
up.
have
Actually,
a
you have an
copy.
extra copy.
You're talking about a copy of the orders?
Did you have a hard copy for me last week that I just never picked up?
You never picked them up.
I couldn't remember if they were ready, because the last 2 meetings, we didn't have anything, so I didn't come in.
But these orders are pretty straightforward,
Yeah, that's
right?
what
I
we
mean,
did.
there's
That's
nothing.
pretty
It's pretty
standard
straight, yeah.
boilerplate conditions
Yeah,
on
that's
there.
what, that's fine, so I figured, but I should at least look at it.
You know, the findings will usually be different because they're project specific. So in your version,
Impact numbers, yeah?
yep, I have it on my version. So it's 1,800 square feet and 0 cubic feet. We got those after I gave you the draft.
So they're saying it's gonna be rebuilt to the same elevation of 735.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I have nothing to add to this.
Yeah.
Just need a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion, we accept the conditions for 250-1042.
As submitted, I'll second.
Dan Pearson makes a motion to accept the order of conditions for file 250-1042 as submitted, seconded by Julian. All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you.
Anybody have any other business? The other thing I'll mention from tonight, that Bay Road Solar Project, they did the evaluation and we have the floodplain elevation now for that area. So we may want to,
It's okay.
make that a new policy that we have, that we're going to use that data if any projects come in that area, like we did for the reservoir.
Did they do the hydro analysis?
I think so. Yeah, Pat Garner looked at it, said it was correct, so. I'll just draft a new policy. Okay. That's it for me.
All right, guys. You know what I want to hear?
Yes.
One more.
We signed the notice to proceed for Chartley Pond for the rest of the grant work. And so in case they need anything, Thursday I'm leaving for Colorado. I'll be back on the 4th.
Where in Colorado?
Leadville,
Phil, that's,
southwest of Denver.
oh, southwest. Okay. You gonna visit the tailings?
Gonna look at what?
The tailings
The tailings?
of the lead mine?
Nope.
Okay.
Indeed. Hiking and camping.
Is that near Telluride?
I don't know.
I think Telluride is further to the west.
Yeah.
So this is still in front of the Front Range, Leadville, or is it right out in the Front Range? Yeah, because that's right where all the mountains are.
I know it's near Mount Massive,
Yeah, it's a beautiful area.
as far as I got.
I was blessed with being able to work out there for 7 summers, working for the Museum of Natural History as a field fossil collector
Nice.
throughout that area, and it's kind of like my second home.
So you can tell me what to look at in Denver when I'm there for the day.
You'll see what to look at, don't worry.
All right, you
And
guys.
Denver is not the same city as it was then, so.
Wanna wrap it up?
All right, any other business?
Nope. Motion to adjourn, someone?
Sure, motion to adjourn.
All right. Julie makes a motion to adjourn, seconded by Ron. All those in favor?
Aye.
So we'll just let that poor guy get out of here.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.